Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For the people joining for the first time, this is not a political poll. This is a spiritual poll. Every Sunday, a group of us, we get together and we dance and sing and play on this web of creation. So we try not to think of politics. But these days, in this time, and I hear in the back of my head, well, shift time streams. But in this time, so much of the heaviness is around politics. And so I'm trying to make sense of it a little bit. And I just came back from a camping trip. And in that camping trip, I saw a fairy ring. And the fairy ring is when a large old growth redwood, it could be new growth too, is fallen. Maybe man cut it down to build the deck. Maybe it got damaged in a storm or a fire. And from its roots sprout up a circle of other redwood trees. And that's called a fairy ring. And in that root system, those trees can communicate with each other. And from what I've read, not only in that fairy ring, but into different parts of the redwood forest, it's all interconnected. Much like the web that we dance on and play and sing on every Sunday, that web of creation. And so as I'm struggling with the news of the world feeling like it's dropping into a lower vibration, lower consciousness, and I was out in nature going, what is going on? I pulled the cards from my Galactic Heritage app. In this deck, the Galactic Heritage gives us an awareness of how other galactic societies managed their growth. And if you believe that we all came from one consciousness source, creator source. We all came from a unity consciousness. However, we have fragmented and we're in different pieces now. And the goal is to get back to unity consciousness. And so with this fragmentation, we have different ways of looking at things. And so with this card that I pulled, Orion Light, Light of Awareness, when I did some research on that, the Orion civilization was very fragmented, very opinionated. It had a lot of judgments, a lot of labeling. And as they evolved, and I don't have time to get into all of that as the deck explains it, but as they evolved, there was a part of them from the future that became Orion Light. And I go, oh, Orion Light. Less filling, less carbs. And I'm thinking to myself, more joy. And so I keep looking at different things and things come into my awareness, and it's about joy. It's about choosing joy. That's the choice that we get to make. We can choose anger and sadness. We can choose happiness or joy. And so when we're dancing on this web of creation, let's choose joy. As we are rising up into this human light card, they don't have that. That's in the future, human light. What are we going to do with that? Are we going to stay in judgment and labeling, commentary, opinions? Or are we going to shift to what Orion light did, and they eliminated all that? How do we eliminate that? If most of us meditate, and if we get into a deep, deep meditative state, we feel that lightness of being. We feel like we're floating, or we're weightless in water, which is why I love diving so much. Just weightless and slowly moving with the currents. There may be a storm raging above on the surface, but underneath it's a gentle rocking. And so I feel like that's where I want to be, in that gentle rocking. And it's without those labels, those opinions. Now, we can't really stay there for very long, most of us, and we pop out. A noise comes from the background or whatever, and we pop out. We're back into the surface again and go, whoa, there's a storm up here. And so we look to other people in our history and in our current time stream that can stay in that space for a long time. And then we elevate them to like a deity almost. And sometimes it's not almost. Jesus, the Christ consciousness. We elevated that being who could stay in that state, that calm state, for a lot longer than other normal humans, and we put them up on a pedestal. Buddha, Gandhi. But what Orion light system has to share with us is they found these awarenesses that could stay in that non-judgmental, non-commentary, non-opinionated place. And instead of putting them up on a shelf to pray to honor this higher level, they brought them into their heart, and they became the light. They were the ones that shone brightly for others to see, to others to walk that path, for others to follow, not to put them on a pedestal, but just to feel the energy. And that's what Orion light, that's the future of this galactic heritage card has to say. This is one of the last cards. So the other cards that I pulled to support this, to see, maybe I'm off on a wrong track. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm using the Sacred Earth Oracle. You can look at these in any way you want. You could look at it as a web, directions. You could look at it as time streams. Let's just see what we get. Let's see. So at the top of the reading, we get renewal. Renewal. Yes. We are certainly in that stage, aren't we? giving birth to a new way. And I think about the giving birth and the baby coming out screaming and yelling. Or is it just happy to be alive, happy to be here? We signed up for this. Renewal. It's cool. So maybe some of the old way is moving, some of it is sticking around. What do we want to give up? What's not serving us anymore? We had that beautiful full moon 2 nights ago. I did a little ceremony. I wrote down on a piece of paper what I wanted to let go of, what no longer was serving me. The anger, the labels of us versus them, it doesn't serve me anymore. I'm just tired of it. We're in a renewal. Should we go around? Should we go to, let's go here. Magnetism. Magnetism. Opposites attract. There's something, why were we attracted to this negative energy? To show, to bring forth a renewal. And again, not like in a higher position, but just, I don't know. Renewal, magnetism. Shift. Shift. Certainly we are feeling that shift. We are feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. And sometimes that shift is so hard to let go of the old ways, to let go of the Orion heavy, but we're moving into Orion light. Weightless. No labels. No judgment. No opinions. No borders. And then we get the fragment card. If we are unity consciousness, if we came from source. When I grew up, when I was studying Catholicism, they said we came from God. Man was made in the image of God. Unity consciousness. Now I believe something a little different about that. A little different. But still I believe that we came from source, a source of consciousness. And we fragmented from that source consciousness. Some of our fragments are not paying attention or not have forgotten what source is, and they think, oh, I can be my own little source. They could be their own little fairy ring and have their own little world spinning around them. And maybe they can. Maybe we can. Maybe that's it. But with this spread, what I'm feeling is these fragments that have split off from source, there's a magnetism that's drawing us all together into a shift for renewal. And that renewal is Orion's light. Is being part of the Christ consciousness, being part of the Buddha, Gandhi. And there's so many others. And they're all saying the same thing. Our true state of being is as a unified, abiding awareness. This awareness contains no judgment, labeling, commentary, or opinion. What a powerful statement. Thank you guys for watching today. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday, on this web of creation. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all being with me on this journey. It'd be really lonely if you all weren't here. So thank you for that. Thank you. And peace and love.